Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Virgo January 14, 2023. With Mars turning direct today after retrograde motion, you're becoming more confident about what you want. You can put less effort into getting others to understand, see, and support you and your ideas. There can be a turning point or forward movement for studies, projects, publishing efforts, legal affairs, or a partnership. Courage, confidence, and clarity are returning now. Projects and personal interests can bring greater rewards. Don't try to take on too much all at once, however. Easing forward is best after a retrograde period. It's also best to consider that Mercury is still retrograde until the 18th. Still, you're likely to find that pressure eases as people respond more directly to one another. Problems related to sharing, ideas, opinions, and transportation or commuting experienced in recent months begin to iron out. Relationships with in-laws, neighbors, and siblings should also round out nicely. The skies have been filled with ferocious fire for many long months. This is due to the Mars retrograde phase we have been trapped significantly within, especially since Halloween. Luckily, the storms will begin to fade after today because our red planet is now awake within the sky. Moving forward, you will face the truth around matters of sex, communication, or conflict that you experienced since that time. If situations broke down in recent months, you can now figure out the best path forward to heal or disentangle yourself from them. Do so with tact and grace as you always do. Choose what you want to do. It might be scary yet exhilarating to commit to your professional pleasures when Venus in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries. The sextile is your cosmic cue to move past your insecurities or doubts to dive fully into your professional passion projects. It might even be easier to pursue a few ideas at once since Mars will also station direct in Gemini later today. Consider this your day to confidently take a leap of faith in pursuing your talents, ideas, and creative opportunities in your professional journey. While there are planets turning direct left, right, and center, Uranus, the last of the 4 planets that began the year in retrograde motion, is still 10 days away from turning direct. While more and more focus shifts to the future and while the North Node is still keeping an eye on where you are going financially, Uranus is making sure that no stones have been left unturned from your 2022 financial year. You can find sympathetic listeners amongst your friends and family, but sometimes it is you that needs to listen to yourself. The things that you mean to do for your health but keep putting off: drinking more water, eating less sugar, exercising more often. These are things that only you can make happen. When you find yourself going to others for comfort, ask yourself whether you could be the one providing yourself with comfort in the form of healthy habits. You will find that your contemplative nature leads you into a unique opportunity for self-expression. On a day like today, this offers you a truly innovative way to be introspective without being labeled as reclusive. You will find these self-expressive outlets allow you a wide forum for your spiritual and religious views. At the same time, you will be able to get out and experience some of what life has to offer. Take care that you do not give into the lure of the shallow and become too self-absorbed that you aren't willing to allow others their views. A day after Eris direct turn in your relationship sector, and as your relationship focus has shifted off the past, Mars direct turn in an adventurous part of your chart today adds to a trend away from the past and onto the future. The moon's return to Libra today will give you a better read on both over the next few days, while this first visit for the year is also a chance to get your personal bearings. With 2 more planets due to turn direct over the next 10 days, one on the home and the other on the financial front, this is a trend that will continue. Just days after his friendly aspect to Venus in your romantic sector earlier in the week, Mars turns direct in an adventurous part of your chart today. With Venus not leaving for another 2 weeks, the planets of love and passion will remain tightly aligned, and this will continue to fuel a mix of romance, passion, and adventure, though with the focus shifting away from the past and onto the future. Our eyes in the sky. Action planet Mars turns direct in Gemini this afternoon, ending the retrograde story that began on October 30th, 2022. We could feel a bit frustrated and out of sorts as Mars begins to wind down from its planetary moonwalk. However, we're just feeling the tail end of drama that we've been dealing with for months. Our energy can now be restored and revived for the first time in a long while. You find work-related issues easy to handle, and using your alert and active mind you apply fresh impetus to projects that require concentrated team effort. You encounter very few obstacles in your personal life. Whatever you choose to focus your attention on, others are enthused by your innovative approach and appreciate the concerted effort you make. Your ability to understand any situation is good, and you're able to undertake any sort of mental task. Equally, you're communicating without any difficulty, so possible negotiations or similar conversations turn out to be successful. You also find your general level of curiosity is heightened, and you're keen to acquire knowledge and learn as much as you can. If you enjoy buying yourself something new, go ahead and do it. You have the means to do so, and it's about time you treated yourself. Your finances allow you to make a small investment, and you are sensible enough not to overspend. Get out and strut your stuff. Feeling attractive, you're easily persuaded to make the most of your looks with a visit to the hairdresser or the health club. You're amazed at the transformation. Feeling even more appealing, when you meet up with others your attractiveness shines through. You're aware how people notice you. It's not your imagination. Mid-morning, Venus in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries, helping to heal our hearts. Today's interactions stimulate reminders of wounds experienced in past relationships. It may not be a romantic wound, but a platonic one. Perhaps the betrayal of a friend, or being ostracized from a social circle. Yet today, the trigger feels softer. The lessons imparted are gentler. We might find ourselves entrenched in a similar dynamic with a friend who keeps us on the outs. Yet we can see that this is not the kind of alliance we wish to have in our lives. Alternatively, it may be that we are now part of the in crowd. We can welcome someone into our sphere and thus repair some of the karmic damage we incurred in our youth. Intensify contacts to people, because they find you particularly likable right now. Plan your leisure time with family and good friends, and most importantly, make your plans together. You might feel like ringing up an old friend. The time is perfect to revive and strengthen old ties. This will make it easy for you to make new contacts and maybe even lifelong friendships. In the early afternoon, Mars stations direct after nearly 2.5 months of being retrograde. During this time, we have had to contest with stalled projects, low libidos, weakened immune systems, and an inability to achieve progress in the causes that are important to us. Finally, these issues start to fall away as Mars begins its forward march. Take a mental inventory of the past few months and note lessons learned. We may have discovered that we were putting our energy behind work initiatives or relationships that were not worth the effort. Having received a clearer picture, we can proceed in the arenas where our actions are able to make a real impact.